Here is our Kitty Desk Buddy Brigade. Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society. Today we're going to work up this Kitty Desk Buddy. Here our kitty is worked up in a bunch of different colored yarns just to get an idea of maybe what color you want to work this little guy up in. I'm going to put a few things in here. You can add school supplies, you can add candy, plants, really anything that you'd like. It'd be a really cute gift for a kiddo or even a friend who just is a cat lover. I used the super bulky Chanel yarn for this pattern. Here is the little cup design. And then I also added a tail, but I added a little fabric glue to have the tail sticking up, but you can choose not to and have it laying on the side. So we're going to go through our supply list and then we will crochet this little friend together. Before we get started, I just want to talk about a few things. First off, the free written pattern is on yarnsociety.com, so you can grab it there. Also, you can slow down the video by using the gear button, and the instructions are on the pink slide before this. We will be working in the round, and I do recommend grabbing some stitch markers because I do use quite a few in this pattern. And then this is also an advanced beginner crochet pattern, so if you are just starting out crocheting, I wouldn't recommend this pattern, but you're more than happy to try it, and also you can slow it down. And there's also other videos linked down below that could help you out. We're going to grab our hook, our yarn, and we're going to get started with a slip knot and a chain. We're not going to be starting with a magic circle on this pattern, so you can make a slip knot, and then we are going to chain 7. So go ahead and chain 7. We're still going to be working in the round. We're just not going to start with that magic circle. We are going to start round 1 by single crocheting in that second chain from the hook and then single crocheting into the next 5. So we're going to have 6 single crochet total. So go under that top loop and just single crochet down the chain. Here's 3, 4, 5, and here's our 6th single crochet. We are going to turn our work so we can work down the other side of the row. I'm going to just move the tail of my slip knot and we're going to go straight up into the stitch here. So you're going to place your hook up here. This is 1. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can also feel for these stitches if you can't really see them. That can also work, and if you pull it up, you'll see that little hole here. So I'm going to place my hook into that top little chain space and make a single crochet. Here's 1. We're going to go into the next one. Here's 2. To your next stitch, this is single crochet 3. Find your next 4. Here I'm going to feel for it. Here's 5, and then our 6th one is here in this corner bit. At the end of round 1, we are going to have 12 stitches. I'm going to place my stitch marker on the last stitch of the round, but feel free to place it where you like. So we are going to start round 2 in this next stitch here. We're going to be working in the round, so we're just continuing on. And then for round 2, we're going to make a single crochet increase in that first stitch, and then a single crochet into the next, and we'll repeat that sequence all the way around. I'm going to place my hook under that first stitch and make 2 single crochet. Move over to the next stitch and make a single crochet. We're going to move over. Moving over to the next stitch, we're going to make a single crochet increase, so 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And then move over for a single crochet. Have another single crochet increase. I'm just going to call it an increase from this point forward. And then we move over for a single crochet. We're going to do another increase. Move over for a single crochet. Then we have another increase. Move over for a single crochet, and then we have another increase. And then end with a single crochet. At the end of round 2, we have 18 stitches. I'm going to change my stitch marker. For round 3, we are going to make a single crochet increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2. So here is our increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1, move over, 2. Then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here is an increase, single crochet in the next 2. Feel free to mute me as we go along. Here's another increase, single crochet in the next 2. Increase, single crochet in the next 2. Increase, single crochet in the last 2. At the end of round 3, we have 24 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 4, we are going to single crochet in the next 24 stitches. We're just going to single crochet all the way around. Thank you guys for joining me on this crochet along. I just wanted to mention that in the community post, I did place a link for a free printable for a crochet inspired to-do list. There's 3 to-do lists on one page. You can print it out, cut it into 3 different to-do lists, and kind of just keep those around the house for when you needed it, for your whips, for your house tasks, anything that you need it for. If you are watching this video later and you are looking for this link, just go ahead and drop me a comment below and I'll send you the link. At the end of round 4, we still have 24 stitches. I'm going to change my stitch marker. For round 5, we are going to increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here we'll start with our increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's another increase, single crochet in each of the next 3. Another increase, single crochet in the next 3. Here is another increase, single crochet in the next 3. Increase, single crochet in the next 3. And then our last increase, single crochet in the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 5, we have 30 stitches. Go ahead and change your stitch marker. For round 6, we're going to be doing a decrease round. So we're going to take 2 stitches into 1, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. I'm going to do an invisible decrease, and I'll take it a little slow just in case you don't know how to do it. I'm going to place my hook under the front loop of the first stitch. Then I'm going to go directly under the next front loop of the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over and pull through. So that's your first decrease. Then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's 2 and 3. We're going to make another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And then here we have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. 1, 2, and 3. We have another decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. And then we have our last decrease. Single crochet in the next 3. We're going to change our stitch marker. At the end of round 6, we're going to have 24 stitches. For round 7, we're going to single crochet in the next 24 stitches. I was supposed to get Kitty up last week, and I told you guys I got sick, and that was a doozy. I was not expecting that. It was over, and that was like a 10-day extravaganza. I was feeling pretty awful. My daughter had her talent show, and it was the first day I started coming down with it, and I had a fever, and I had to go to her talent show, and it was crazy because I stayed in the car until she was about to go on, and then I snuck upstairs. There was nobody up there in this community center, and I was able to watch her and then leave right afterwards. So I didn't have to see anybody, which was great, and I had my mask on, and I wanted to just stay away from everyone, so it worked out. At the end of round 7, we're still going to have 24 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 8, we're going to decrease and then single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So here is our first decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. And then we're going to do a decrease. Single crochet in each of the next 2. We're going to have a decrease, single crochet in the next 2, decrease, single crochet in the next 2. Here's another decrease, single crochet in the next 2. And then our last decrease, single crochet in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 8, we're going to have 18 stitches. For round 9, we are going to single crochet all the way around in the next 18 stitches. For round 10, we're going to be making the ears. So we will be using quite a few stitch markers. If you don't have any stitch markers, I would suggest grabbing like bobby pins or safety pins. Careful with the safety pins. Just something to mark your spot. It can be a little tricky when we move on to round 11. If we don't have one of our back loop stitches marked, could be a little tricky to find it. So I like to just use the stitch markers and know what stitch I'm going into because sometimes the Chanel yarn can be a little bit trickier. So if you can, grab some stitch markers. At the end of round 9, we're still going to have 18 stitches. For round 10, we're going to grab those stitch markers. We want to mark the back loops only of stitch 4 and stitch 8. Here I'm going to count. I have 4, so I'm going to mark that back loop only of that 4th stitch. And then I'm going to move over to find my 8th stitch. And then I'm going to mark the back loop only of that stitch as well. And I'm just going to double check here and count. And we're good to go. So once you have those stitches marked, we're going to move on to round 10. Go ahead and have 4 stitch markers over on the side that are easy to grab for round 10. We're going to start round 10 by single crocheting in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's single crochet 1, 2, and 3. For the next stitch, we'll be working under that front loop only, and we're going to be making a single crochet, a half double crochet, double crochet. We're going to chain 1, half double crochet, and a single crochet, all in the same front loop. So we're going to go slow and we'll talk you through it, and we were going to make an ear. I'm going to place my hook under that front loop only, and I'm going to make a single crochet. I'm going to pause here and I'm going to mark that stitch, and you'll see why later. Then we're going to make a half double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, go under that front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Then we're going to make a double crochet, yarn over, go under the same front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. From here, we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to make a half double crochet, yarn over, go under the same front loop, yarn over, pull through, go through all 3 loops. And then we're going to make a single crochet under that same front loop one more time. We're going to pause here, mark that single crochet, and that is 1 ear done. Now we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's 2 and 3. And then we're going to repeat that same sequence for the next ear. So we're going to start with a single crochet under the next front loop. Grab a stitch marker, place it in that first stitch. Make a half double crochet, a double crochet, chain 1, make a half double crochet all under the same stitch, and then end with a single crochet in that front loop. Same stitch. Add your stitch marker, and that is our second ear done. Single crochet in the next 10 stitches. So don't forget your little stitch here. It's kind of hidden a tiny bit by your ear. And single crochet in the next 10. At the end of round 10, we have 18 stitches. We're not counting the stitches that are in the blue, the ears. We're only counting our single crochets and our back loops only. And I'll talk you through this for round 11. So for round 11, we are going to single crochet in the first 3 stitches. We're going to ignore all the stitches for the ear, and we're going to single crochet into this back loop only that we marked. Then I'm going to take out the stitch marker. Single crochet in the next 3 stitches. You're going to work into the stitch next to the stitch marker. So you'll start here and then work single crochet 1, 2, and 3. So here's single crochet 1, 2, and 3. Ignore the ear stitches and go into that back loop only that we marked. And make a single crochet. I'm going to take out my stitch marker and then go into the stitch next to your stitch marker. We're going to start here and we're going to single crochet in the next 10. At the end of round 11, we still have 18 stitches. We're going to change our stitch marker, and now we can take out all these ear stitches. And if you make a few of these and you feel confident enough not to use the stitch markers, you can totally feel free to do whatever you'd like. But for the first one, if you have something to mark it, I just feel like it would be a lot easier. For round 12, we're going to increase in the first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 2, and we'll repeat that around. Here is an increase, single crochet in each of the next 2. Here's 1 and 2. Make another increase, single crochet in the next 2. There's an increase, single crochet in the next 2. Here's an increase, single crochet in the next 2. Here's an increase, single crochet in the next 2. And then here's our last increase, single crochet in the last 2. At the end of round 12, we're going to have 24 stitches. For round 13 and 14, we are going to be single crocheting all the way around. I'm just going to start round 13 with you. I want to show you how I like to mark that stitch, and that will help us later for eye placement. So we're going to single crochet all the way around in the next 24 stitches. I like to do about 3 stitches. And then grab a stitch marker, and then mark one of your stitches going horizontally, and then continue crocheting all the way around for 13. Change your stitch marker, crochet round 14, and then we'll meet back at the end of round 14. Okay, we're at the end of round 14. We still have 24 stitches. Here's round 13. Here's round 14, and then we'll be moving on to round 15. For round 15, we're going to make an increase in that first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's our first increase. Single crochet in each of the next 3. Here's another increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Increase. Single crochet in the next 3. Another increase. Single crochet in the next 3. And then your last increase. Single crochet in the last 3. At the end of round 15, we're going to have 30 stitches. For round 16, we're going to single crochet into the next 30. So single crochet all the way around. So you guys know I'm on a desk buddy kick. I have a fox up next. And originally, I didn't put a tail on the fox. But then I rethought it, and then I did put a tail. And now I don't know if I like the tail. So I may be doing a little poll in my community to see what you guys think. I may just include the tail no matter what, and then you guys decide if you want to add it or not. Just not sure. I'm just not sure what I think about it. So I may have to get your expert's opinion on what you think. But I do think the fox came out really cute. And I made her or him in pastel colors. So I kind of liked how that looked. So I can't wait to show you guys. At the end of round 16, we're still going to have 30 stitches. For round 17, we're going to make a decrease, single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Make your decrease, single crochet in each of the next 3. Then we have another decrease, single crochet in each of the next 3. Decrease, single crochet in the next 3. Another decrease, single crochet in the next 3. Decrease, single crochet in the next 3. Then your last decrease, single crochet in the last 3. At the end of round 17, we're going to have 24 stitches. For round 18, we are going to be working small bobbles, and the tail all in the same round. So I will go slow and talk you through this, and we will talk through the bobbles as well. We are going to be working all the bobbles in the front loop only, and then we'll be going back into both loops. For round 18, we're going to make a single crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. Here, single crochet 1 and 2. We're going to make a front loop only bobble in the next stitch, and we'll be going underneath 5 times. So we're going to yarn over, go underneath that front loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, we're going to go underneath that front loop a second time. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go underneath a 3rd time that same front loop. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over, this is our 4th time going underneath the same front loop. Yarn over, go through 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over, this is our 5th time. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops on the hook. At this point, we're going to have 6 loops on the hook. You can yarn over and go through all 6 loops. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And now we're going to make a front loop only small bobble, so it's going underneath 3 times. So we're going to yarn over, go underneath the front loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over, going underneath our 2nd time, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to yarn over, go underneath our 3rd time, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to have 4 loops left on the hook, yarn over, go through all 4 loops. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to make another front loop only small bobble. So we're going under our 1st time. Yarn over, go through 2 loops. Yarn over, this is our 2nd time. Go through 2. Yarn over, this is our 3rd time. Go through 2. 4 loops on the hook, go through all 4 loops. We're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to make a front loop only regular bobble going underneath 5 times. Yarn over, this is 1. Go through 2 loops, this is 2. This is 3, 4, and this is 5. Go through 2, and then you have 6 loops on the hook, go through all 6 loops. We are going to single crochet into the next 7 stitches, and then we're going to do our tail. So we can go ahead, single crochet 7. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then from here, we are going to chain 13. So go ahead and chain 13. We're going to half double crochet into that 2nd chain from the hook, and then we're going to half double crochet into the next 11. So here we're going to half double crochet in that 2nd chain, the top chain, and then we're going to do half double crochet in the next 11. So here is 1, 2, take your time, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gets tricky once you get closer to the bottom. 9. Here's 10. And then here is 11. And then we're going to single crochet in the last 2 stitches. At the end of round 18, we're going to have 24 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to leave some slack on my yarn. And then we're going to go ahead and pop out our bobbles. So you can do that real quick. And this is how we're looking so far. I'm actually, I'm going to grab a stitch marker and place it in my working yarn just so I don't lose it, because we are going to place our eyes and we are going to do some embroidery. We're going to grab 2 14mm safety eyes, and we are going to place those between round 14 and 15, leaving 3 stitches open between the eyes. Here I'm going to take a pin and I'm going to find around 14 and 15 so that we know this is 13. Here's 14 and 15. I'm just going to kind of find the middle and place a little pin in there because I want my eyes to be in the right spot. So we know we're going to leave 3 stitches open. So I'm going to grab my eye and I'm going to place it here into this stitch. And then I'm going to leave that stitch next to the pin open and place it here. So now we have 3 stitches open. I'm not going to secure the eyes just yet. I want to do my nose and my whiskers first. So you can use any kind of embroidery floss that you have. I actually just grabbed a piece of worsted weight and I unraveled it. There's 4 little threads and I'm just going to use one of those threads. For embroidering on the nose and the whiskers, instead of using a yarn needle, I liked to use an embroidery needle because I like the sharpness of it. It kind of gets into the middle of the stitch better than using a blunt needle. So I'm making a knot on one side. And what we're going to do is put a line across for the nose and one down. And then we're just going to put 3 little whiskers on the side. I have my knot at the end of my thread. I'm going to grab a stitch on the inside. I'm going to pull it all the way through until I hit the knot. Then I'm going to go through another stitch or the same stitch, doesn't matter. Pull through until you get a loop and then place your needle behind the loop to make a knot. And that just secures it in place. I'm going to go up between round 14 and 15 and I'm going to make the line going down first. So I'm going to go into that middle stitch between the eyes and I'm just going to go down 1 row, but I want to make sure that it's as straight as it can be. So I'm going to pull that through once. Then I'm going to go up to the stitch right next to the eye and we're going to go over to the stitch on the opposite side right next to the eye to make our little nose. Now I want to make a whisker, so I'm going to go down on the corner and just move over a little bit. I'm going to go up through a stitch. I'm going to go up a stitch and over. I'm going to pull that through. Then I'm going to go back up to my original stitch. I'm going to move over a stitch and just go right across. Go back up through your original stitch again. And then you can move down one and over a stitch. And you can do this however you'd like. You can move your whiskers closer to your eye. You can move them further away. You can make them longer. You can do whatever feels good. You can either go right over to the next whisker, trying to be careful not to pull your yarn too tight, or you can secure it and start over with another piece. For this tutorial, I'm just going to secure it. So go under a loop, pull it through, and then go behind your loop to secure your yarn. Just going to do that twice. I want to make sure that this yarn is really secure. I'm going to take the same piece that I'm working with. I'm going to make a knot at the end again and just start over on the other side. Okay, I'm going to secure my yarn on the other side using those same steps. And then I'm going to find the corner of my eye and I'm just going to move over a little bit. I'm going to go up and over a stitch. Go back up through my original. Want to do your best to kind of make them look as symmetrical as possible. Once you have your whiskers in, I'm just going to loosen up these bits here. I'm going to secure it on the inside once again. And then we can put the backings on our eyes. I'm just going to fluff out the little bits that got tight, and then we're going to put the backings on our eyes. Okay, we're going to take out that extra stitch marker and get set up for round 19. I'm going to take out that round 13 stitch marker too because we don't need it. For round 19, we're going to make a decrease, and then we're going to single crochet in each of the next two. Round 19 can be a little tricky with our bobble, so if you can't see the stitches, you can feel for them. We're going to make our first decrease. We're going to single crochet in each of the next two. Make another decrease. Single crochet in each of the next two. Decrease. Single crochet in the next two. Decrease. Single crochet in the next two. Decrease. Single crochet in the next two. And then we have a decrease. We're going to hold our tail down as we single crochet in the last two. So you're going to kind of grab your hook, get it over there into that stitch, and single crochet, and then single crochet in your last stitch. You can change your stitch marker. We have 18 stitches. Round 20, we're going to make a decrease, single crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll repeat that sequence. So here's our decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet, and then I'm going to let you make a decrease and a single crochet until you reach the end. At the end of round 20, we have 12 stitches. Here's our last round. We're going to make a decrease 6 times. Here is our first decrease. Here is our second, our third, fourth, fifth, and our sixth. You can take out that stitch marker if it's easier, which probably would be if I take it out. Okay, we're going to take out our stitch marker. Go ahead and grab a pair of scissors. We're going to leave a long tail, and then we're going to close this guy up. You're going to yarn over and pull your yarn all the way through. It's fastening off. And then I'm going to grab a yarn needle and weave my yarn through the needle. So I'm going to go underneath my first stitch. I'm going to count out my 6 first. Here's 6, and then that little bit is our fastened off, so we'll ignore that. I'm going to take my yarn needle and go behind the front loop of the first stitch. I'm going to pull that straight down. I'm going to move over to my second, pull through. Here's my third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And now I'm going to tighten this up. I'm going to watch the circle as I do it, this hole. And I'm going to try to pull this slowly. Don't rip your yarn or anything. You can go ahead and take your yarn needle and weave it through to the other side. Because there's no stuffing to catch up on, it's a little bit tougher. So that's how our bottom is going to look, nice and flat. So I'm just going to kind of inch this up here and then pull this all the way through. I'm going to tuck that in. What we're going to do to make the cup is we're going to tuck and roll. I like to kind of roll this down and tuck as I go. Getting a little caught up on my embroidery here. So I'm going to stop for a second and fix that. And then I'm going to keep going and I'm going to pull that round right near the ears. I want it to be level with the ears because I want those to stick up. So make sure that you roll it all the way down to that round. Once you get it rolled down, then you can really start to mold the inside, get it flat, get it rounded out. And just keep working on it. I even stretch it out a little bit on the top just to get things all worked out. And that's it. That's your kitty. I'm going to fluff up a bit of these embroidery pieces because they do get a little bit stuck. And that one got really like hairy on me. So I just cut the extra off. You can pop out your bobbles a little bit more with your yarn needle. And that's it. It's time to fill your friend. If you did want the tail to go straight up, all I did was add a little bit of fabric glue about halfway up the tail, and then I laid it there to dry overnight, and then you had this cute little tail kind of sticking up in the back, and I thought that was cute. So here is him again, all finished up, and his tail is up and connected. I hope all your kitty lover friends enjoy this kitty desk buddy. I know I sure do. I have too many desk buddies and not enough supplies now, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know what color you used. I'm curious because my colors were kind of all out there, and who you're making this for. I'd love to hear. I will see you guys in the next video, and most likely it will be the fox. So if you're interested in foxes, come back and check it out. You can also grab the free pattern on yarnsociety.com, and you can check out all my other free patterns as well.